NBC Sports is proud to present the silver anniversary of the Family Circle Magazine Cup. The picturesque resort of Hilton Head on the coast of South Carolina and in the heart of Harbor Town, the Sea Pines Resort. A capacity crowd of 8,000 is anticipating one of the most intriguing finals in the history of this prestigious event. The current #1 player in the world, Martina Hingis, the youngest ever, against the former #1, Monica Seles, who hopes to take another big step toward regaining her championship form. And what a great final it is indeed. Dan Hicks along with Chris Evert, and what a great start it's been to the '97 season for the world new #1 Martina Hingis. A perfect 30-0 match record. She's won all 5 tournaments she has entered, the latest coming last week at the Lipton Championships in Key Biscayne, where she won the final over Monica Seles. She made it look easy, winning 2 and 1. It took all of 44 minutes to complete it. There's not a long history between these two, but they have played one other time besides last week's match at the '96 Oakland final. And in those 2 matches, Monica Seles has managed to win only 5 games over Martina Hingis. And Chrissy, why has it been so easy for Martina?
That's a good question. I think Monica's probably asking herself that. But I think what Martina Hingis has done so well, she's exploited Monica's weakness, and that is mobility. That is movement around the court. She really knows how to maneuver Monica side to side and really throwing her off guard. And I think what really Monica needs to do is think about that and be a step quicker.
Well, Monica Seles, certainly one of the greatest to ever play the game. 9 Grand Slam titles will attest to that. 3 of them have come on the clay at Roland Garros, so she's very comfortable on this surface. An 82-5 career record on clay, but this is just her 2nd tournament since the return from injury, so conditioning might be a factor because she's also battling a virus.
Oh, she's had the flu all week. I mean, her agent told us that. So if it does get to a tough 3-set match, Monica is at a disadvantage very much. The key to this match with Monica is going to be movement. And I think the clay is a good surface for her. That'll enable her to take a few more seconds to get to the ball. If she can get to the ball, set up, and produce those angles that she's most famous for, we're going to see a great match.
But the dominating story in tennis this year has been Martina Hingis, and with more on the Swiss Miss, here's Bud Collins courtside.
Switzerland. The Alps, chocolates, clocks, secret bank accounts. But a champion tennis player from Switzerland, about as likely as a champion yodeler from Albania. But it's happened. The Heidi of the half volley, Martina Hingis. And she is a 16-year-old like none other. And Chrissy, I want to be careful because I remember you at 16 making that sensational run to the U.S. Open semifinals. But this kid can really do everything. Does she milk goats and make cheese like the other Heidi? I don't think so. She makes grilled cheeses of her opponents. We were going to watch her, and I think one day will come when we have to build a court on the Matterhorn so that she'll have to serve uphill and hit her strokes that way. It may be the only way, Dan, to level the playing field.
And Bud, that would be an interesting match indeed on that kind of surface. In just 3 months, Martina Hingis has won more than $1 million, the youngest ever man or woman to surpass the $1 million mark in earnings. Born in Slovakia, moved to Switzerland at age 7, and this is her route to these championships against Monica Seles. The top seed got the bye early, Chrissy.
Well, she had a pretty easy route by the first round. Her only tough match after being Rittner and Schett Prost was Brenda Schultz. And we saw that yesterday. She lost the first set. She was in big trouble, but she came back playing consistent tennis. And it was probably a good match for her to have.
And by now, everyone knows the story of Monica Seles trying to come back from tragedy and injury. She's also had a broken finger in December. That kept her out an additional 4 months. She battled a shoulder injury before that, which plagued her on and off all of last year. But the singles record, again, 9-1, and just her 2nd tournament this year. And as we mentioned, battling the virus as well. And this is her route to this final.
A little bit tougher route. Wang and Gersi. The Gersi match was a night match. It was a little cooler. That's where she caught her cold. Anke Huber, surprisingly easy. A good German player. And Conchita Martinez, of course, that was a tough match.
And right away, Hingis moving Seles around the court. That Lipton Championship played a week ago yesterday. Martina Hingis played really probably one of the best matches of her early career.
Well, the intimidation factors comes into play when you play Monica Seles, because most of the players are still afraid of her. She's had such a wonderful record. Martina is not intimidated by anyone.
And the first 2 points to Hingis. 30-love. Well, despite not feeling well, Seles has not dropped a set this week.
And I think we're going to see a sharper Martina Hingis out there today. I think against Brenda played a great match, but I think Martina was a little bit sluggish, maybe didn't take the match quite as seriously as she should have. But against Monica, she's going to play heads-up tennis because she knows Monica's dangerous.
And that one just wide, 30-all.
And you know, Dan, if there's going to be any player with Steffi Graf out with an injury that's going to break this streak, it's going to be a Monica Seles. Someone who knows how to win.
Yeah, the key for Monica, she said throughout this comeback, has been to recapture the aggressiveness that she had when she was the dominant player.
Well, those are the types of shots that she never used to miss. I mean, that was right on top of the net. That was a second serve.
Meanwhile, something is cracked up Hingis out there. A cork from a champagne bottle is what caused her to stop in mid-serve. And that's the kind of attitude that Hingis has. She'll have a laugh or two on the course, not all serious all the time. Nice winner down the line for Seles, and we're at deuce.
Well, you know, Dan, every player has to do what's best for them. And, you know, Monica Seles is so intense. She hits this great down-the-line winner, but she's so intense, you'll very rarely see a smile on her face. Martina Hingis can laugh, and she can joke. She can throw a racket, and she can still get her concentration back. That I was talking about. You just seemingly impossible how she can find that spot on the court, but she has such great wrist action. As you see here, very deceptive, because two-handed players, you really can't tell where they're going to hit the ball.
Break point for Seles. First game to Seles breaks Hingis to begin this final. Well, Martina Hingis, not only the youngest #1 player in the world ever, but on a 30-0 winning match streak. And Bud Collins had a chance to talk to her about that streak before the match.
You're ready.
When I go, every day I go to the press and they tell me 28, 29, this is the 30th, so it's a big number. So now I'm gonna go for the record. How many matches?
45.
Like 45 had Steffi, or?
You Steffi at the start of the season.
All right. Oh, that's like 50 more. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but it's gonna be a hard finals.
Well, Monica Seles has made a statement right away in taking the first game, but there are the most consecutive wins to start out a year. An incredible 45 10 years ago by Graf. Chrissy, you're on there. You turned in 34 in 1981. Once you get on a roll, you kind of stay on it.
I hope she doesn't beat my record. It's going to be tougher to break Steffi's record, though, because she has the next 3 weeks off, and by that time, Steffi will probably be starting to play again, which would set up a great rivalry.
Seles off to a good start in her first service game, and that was really the weakness of the Lipton Championship last week.
Big question with Monica Seles. As I watched that match, she was very inconsistent, a lot of double faults. But my question is, since she's come back the second tournament, her serve still hasn't been the same. She's not going all out and swinging freely like she used to, which brings up the shoulder injury. You know, she talked all last year about, you know, maybe I'll have to get surgery. It's not working out that well, but She certainly hasn't taken that pocket of time to get surgery. Maybe she thought it was too much of a risk. But I don't think her shoulder is feeling great because she's just not serving with velocity that she did a year or two ago.
Well, she developed a shoulder problem at the end of '95 after the comeback, being away from the game after the tragedy in April of '93, away from the game for 2.5 years, and really was plagued by that on and off last year. And then the latest broken finger has really thwarted her comeback efforts as well. Nice touch there and puts it away. So Seles out to an early 2-love lead, and Chrissy, you had a chance to scout out Monica's game in this comeback. What did you find?
Well, the sharp angles, I don't know how she finds these angles on the court, but very acute angles. Great competitor. She's been #1. She knows how to win matches. Hardworking, and again, what she needs to work on just is her mobility. But with the clay, I mean, they have not met on this surface yet with the clay. That's going to help Monica Seles more than hurt her. And that's what she must do, is go for it. That shot was an inch out. She had the right idea, but she has to try to hit through Martina Hingis and not just rally with her, getting some major baseline duels, because she won't be winning those points.
Well, she seems to be feeling all the shots right away, and because of that virus, didn't have a chance to practice much before her match yesterday, and not much at all today.
Well, she's been conserving her strength and her energy, and really the last 2 matches she's had the virus, but she's played some great tennis, beating Anka Huber, Conchita Martinez. What she's trying to do is end the point soon because she doesn't want to be out there for 3 hours, and it's worked for her so far. She does not look rusty now at all after the last few matches. I would have said that at the Lipton Championships, but now she's getting to look more and more like the old Monica.
And she said she just did not take control early at Lipton, and Hingis just jumped all over her in that match. Second double fault for Hingis, and yet another break point for Seles, a point away from a 3-love lead. And an impressive start indeed for the former #1 player in the world. Out ahead 3-love against the current #1. Seles, who dominated the world in tennis years ago. Her Grand Slam record speaks for itself. 102-10, 9 titles, 4 Australian Opens, 3 French, 2 U.S., the only Grand Slam not on her impressive resume. Wimbledon, but she made it to the finals in '92, and I would imagine she wanted to get back at Hingis today after losing in 44 minutes last week.
Well, champions get really upset and angry when they lose, and Monica, believe me, was not happy with that loss at Lipton. Martina Hingis just cleaned her clock, and it humiliated her. And she's not used to that, especially by a younger player. My heavens.
Total reverse today, so far.
So far. 7 out of 8 of those Grand Slam titles were between '91 and '93, right before the stabbing. So, I mean, there's really no doubt in my mind Monica would have gone on to dominate and win many, many more Grand Slam titles. She was out 27 months. And when she came back, won the Canadian Open, and then, of course, the finalist at the U.S. Open.
The Canadian Open, her very first tournament back in '95.
Her father was really the instrumental one to getting her back on the tour. He said, Monica, you have to go out there now. And he must be very proud of what's happening right here. Up 5-love in the first set.
Well, some hope here for a break now for Hingis. Love 40.
Well, at this point, Hingis just wants to get on the scoreboard. I mean, I think she knows in her mind it's an uphill battle. Chances are she's not going to win the set, but just get on the scoreboard and get a little confidence going for her.
That's a winner. First ace for Monica, and she says she is not as confident going for the big serves as she used to. Struggles with the ball toss a little bit. One of the things she's been working on.
Well, I think some of that has to do with her shoulder injury. I just don't think she's completely comfortable. She was talking about surgery all last fall, so I mean, there still has to be something wrong with that shoulder.
One more breakpoint chance for Hingis.
Really getting set for the ball well, and you just can't hit it in her power zone because you don't have a chance. Martina Hingis is not maneuvering her around the court as well as she did at Lipton.
And Hingis does get on the board and offers a triumphant couple of fists in the air, but still trailing 1-5 to Monica. Monica Seles up 5-1 in this championship final. Seles up 2 breaks after Hingis finally won her first game on a break. In. Very close.
Well, Martina Hingis has been on the defensive up until now, and that's why she's losing. She really has to take that away from Monica Seles, and whoever dictates the point and takes control, chances are they're going to win the point.
Is back for Hingis, but is it too late to pull out this opening set? She trails 2-5. A precocious teenager, just 16 years old, Martina Hingis doesn't hold back the emotions. As you mentioned earlier, Chrissy, she's capable of throwing the racket in frustration, but capable of pumping the fist or two, and youngest to be ranked #1 on the tour, earn $1 million, win a Grand Slam singles title this century, and win a Grand Slam doubles title. That came at Wimbledon with Helena Seikosha.
But if she won this title, she would not be the youngest player to win the Family Circle Cup. Do you know who that would be?
Tracy Austin. I'll take a big guess.
1979.
Seles challenged her on that rally. Usually not the situation I want to get into with Hingis.
I think Martina Hingis, what she needs to do right now is throw in a couple more drop shots, take that mid-court ball whenever Monica can give her a mid-court ball. Just has to go for her shots, but when she does get that opportunity, just bring Monica to the net because she still doesn't feel comfortable up there. Good hands. We like to call them soft hands.
And we did talk about that in yesterday's semifinal. Her style of play, the finesse,
Very
soft
loose.
hands, great touch.
Exactly. Very, very loose. She doesn't hold the grip tight. She doesn't muscle the ball. She uses her racket head speed really to get the power. And boy, you're so versatile if you have soft hands because you can hit soft, you can drop shot, you can hit hard and get the power when you need it.
We really haven't seen a player like this in years. It has been a power game with Steffi.
Actually, reminds me, Martina had very good hands.
of a sudden, after a 5-love lead and Hingis taking the last 2 games, got a break point here. Right back into this set. Deuce. So another break point opportunity for Hingis to get within a couple games. Just wide.
She had her chance there, though. That was what she did so beautifully at Lipton. She literally had Monica off the court on that one shot. This shot right here, there's no way she can get back if she had a down-the-line shot. Just missed it, a little bit sloppy.
And suddenly these rallies have become longer, and that favors Hingis.
Short angles, that's what Monica Seles is known for. That's what she can do better than any other player on the court on the tour today, is hit those short angles because she has such good wrist action.
Set point.
To do. She took advantage of that mid-court ball, wanted to get Monica Seles up to a position where she still feels very uncomfortable with. And even if the drop shot's not a winner, at least she gets Monica up there. Monica has to hit a volley.
Break point for Hingis. Suddenly the set hotly contested after the early start by Monica. For Hingis after the love 5 hole. And one of the few coaching daughter combos on tour. Melanie Molitor, the only coach Martina has ever had. Got her started at age 3 and is always courtside.
Well, that was one example that may be soft. It was certainly not better. Because she really had a chance to cream this ball either way. But she opted to hit a soft shot. Monica just hit a winner. And that's good play.
15-30.
We're going to be seeing a lot of drop shots from Martina Hingis because so far that shot's been very successful against Monica. She's a smart player. She knows she has to keep using it.
You mentioned smart. She is very intelligent, thinks her way around the court despite just being 16.
Well, she has great court sense, and she can think ahead 2 or 3 shots to set up a point. And nowadays, the players, and, you know, without being too critical of the Jennifers and Steffies, I mean, they just seem to hit, and go for every shot. And if they're missing, they still keep going for their shots, thinking that their game's going to come back, and often it doesn't.
Second set point. This time Seles takes advantage. The 4th break of Hingis, and the first set goes to Seles 6-3. Well, after dropping the first set 3-6, Martina Hingis came back to win the second set 6-3. Now we rejoin the action in the decisive third. Martina Hingis on the brink of winning the 25th edition, just a game away, off to the great 30-0 start. Steffi Graf set the standard 10 years ago with a 45-0 start to start the year. Chrissy had the 34-0 start back in '81, but just as impressive as being the youngest #1 in the world ever, it has been an impressive start to the '97 season for Hingis. 5 straight tournaments in a row. This would be the 6th.
Bud Collins asked me if she seemed mentally tired, and my answer also is that she's still new on the tour. She's only been on the tour 3.5 years. She's fresh, she's young, she's 16. If this had happened when she was 30 years old, I would have said, yeah, mental burnout is a factor, but...
And this her very first tournament as the #1 player in the world. And you mentioned it earlier, it's a little easier getting there than staying there. All the pressures, the media. But she seems to be very poised. History of #1, only 7 players have held it since the computer rankings came out in 1975. Graf with a record run at #1 of 374 weeks.
Steffi Graf, still currently playing out because she's injured, but probably the greatest champion I've ever seen, all-court champion. I'd still put Martina over her on the grass courts, but boy, as far as all surfaces, she's the best well-rounded player. And Martina Hingis, this has all happened so quickly for her. The WTA is doing a good job, I think, at protecting her as far as not throwing her to the wolves press-wise, and
having Mom on the road with her helps a little bit. Mom's always close by.
So far, that relationship has worked very well.
She came in and cut short a press conference earlier this week that Martina was holding. Thought she needed to get a little more rest, and said, "That's enough, Martina. You're coming along with me." But they get along well.
Monica's still hanging in there.
40-30, game point for Seles. That's the testament to her competitive fires. Obviously not feeling well, but staying in it, fighting to the end.
She's so intense, so focused.
I mean, when she was on top of her game, she wasn't just beating Steffi Graf, she was dominating.
She was. She was.
There's a champion's heart. In the 8th game of this 3rd and final set, Monica Seles wins it to pull within 3-5. Martina Hingis serving for the match. After dropping the opening set, it has been an impressive run for her. Totally turning around the match from Seles, but Seles showing no signs of giving up.
Well, Martina wants to get a lot of first serves in because Monica has an answer for that second serve, and that's just putting it away right from the start.
Those longer rallies where Monica gets in trouble.
Well, she has to dictate right from the first shot. And she didn't that point. Let's see what she does here with the second serve.
Couple points away for Hingis.
Just running down every shot. That's what clay enables you to do. It gives you that extra time.
Nice shot by Seles.
Well, she has her back up against the wall right now. She knows she has to come up with some great shots.
And you really would at this stage in the match only see that from a great champion like Monica is.
Oh, that was not an easy overhead. That toss really came down on her, and she had to spin it in there. Great placement.
Championship point for Hingis. And the 8,000 recognizing the moment. Not quite yet, though. Deuce.
Well, and Monica Seles, she's going to fight to the end, but even if she does lose this match, I mean, what a great difference between this match and the last two, where she only won 5 games.
Second championship point.
Martina Hingis will have a newfound respect for Monica Seles after this match.
A little longer.
She only knows one gear, and that's full gear. She doesn't know how to hold back. Monica Seles just knows how to play aggressive tennis.
Crowd appreciates that, too. Third championship point for Hingis. Deuce again.
Now, if she can just win these deuce points, she'll be in good shape, but she plays great when she's down match point and plays the deuce points a little bit too loose. Racket in front of her as she ran up there.
Hey, advantage Seles.
Crowd really getting into it. They just want to support Monica so much. You know what she's been through in the past.
She gets the break here. Who knows? And there it is. Well, the crowd here at Stadium Court appreciating the no-quit desire in Monica Seles, saving 3 championship points for Hingis, and now serving here down 4-5 in the third. As Seles can hold here, right back in it.
Well, Dan, this this is so reminiscent to me of the Graf-Seles rivalry that really should have been. That really started out great, and as far as the quality, the suspense, the great shot making, the different personalities.
There's been a lot of great players in this tournament this week, but I just wouldn't expect this type of heart from anybody else except Seles, or the situation that she was in. Gets a break there on the net court, and then Hingis sprays it long. Point away from evening it up. That clocked over 100 miles an hour. I think
the shoulder's
Monica's
doing
feeling
okay.
it a little bit here. A little pumped up. There it is. 5-all in the third. How many games has she won now in a row? 2, 3? 3 straight games now won by Monica Seles, trying to come back in this third set. Hingis serving.
Well, Hingis was up 5-2 this set. A very change of events to see her slipping away, making some unforced errors.
That is the 9th straight point won by Seles. All Seles in the first set. Hingis took command with her mother watching in the second set. Looked like she was on her way to victory, and Seles all of a sudden is rekindled the fire.
She's gotten a second wind.
Well, all the great players feed off the emotion, and all of a sudden Hingis can't seem to get it across.
Well, she's down 5-2 in the third set, and she went for broke. She just started hitting out, taking advantage of Martina Hingis' second serve, and she's got a lot more confidence.
A dramatic turnaround. Seles with a 6-5 lead. She'll serve for the championship when we come back. Welcome back to Hilton Head. An incredible turn of events. 4 straight games now won by Monica Seles. 11 straight points. And Chrissy, I would have to feel that Hingis is shaking a little bit. The crowd definitely on the side of Seles now.
Monica, big favorite with the crowd. And in previous matches, Martina Hingis has been up 5-1, 5-2. Her opponents have just rolled over as if to say, okay, this is your match. And she's won easily. But Monica's showing so much spunk and so much fighting spirit right now.
Serving for the championship, and the first point to Seles.
Well, this is interesting. Known as a good pressure, great pressure player. See how she's reacting. Not very well at all.
Reacted very well there. 30-15.
Well, Monica has played some great tennis these last 3 games, but I'll tell you what, if Martina Hingis loses this game, she really let this match slip by.
Just long.
Little tension now, 30-all, 6-5 for Monica.
Seles. And now Hingis a point away from a break. Tying it up at 6 at a tiebreaker. Yeah, the wind gusting that one a little bit. And Hingis fights it off. Still, though, an amazing turnaround here. They'll change sides. Hingis and Seles in a tiebreaker here. Championship final at Hilton Head. Seles seemingly out of it.
Well, this is what it's all about. It's come down to who is going to handle the pressure better.
Tiebreak records this year, both 1-0 career. Seles obviously has been in this pressure cooker situation a lot more than Hingis.
Now it just comes down to really thinking about and isolating each point, one at a time, not to rush. Conditioning will not be a factor because, you know, the light is at the end of the tunnel and they know the end is near. Just put everything they have into these next few points.
That was just in. Hingis can't return it. 2-1 Seles. Now who do you give the advantage to?
It's 50-50. There's no one that's heavily favored in this tiebreak. But as I said before, if Martina Hingis lets this match slip away, she's going to be thinking about this for a long time. The match that broke her streak.
Three-two. Seles takes over the serve. She has to be going on pure adrenaline now.
I think the crowd's really helped her too. When you hear those cheers, you know, it just gives you that extra energy that you need. She'll probably collapse after the match, but she's fine out there right now.
Seles moves closer. They change side after the 6 points, and it's Seles on top 4-2.
Martina's mother, Melanie, looks pretty nervous. Monica Seles' parents are at home watching this on TV. She came here to Hilton Head by herself. She stayed alone the whole week, staying on another island, comes over on boat for her matches.
Nice way to travel. Disappointed in that
one. Each point is like match point in a tiebreak, especially when it's close.
Again, Seles resurrected her game in the third.
Well, this does show Martina Hingis why she's such a great defensive player. She was being jolted around the court from side to side until finally Monica could put away that overhead. It's a matter of whoever takes control and dictates and plays more aggressively ends up winning the point. Martina, for the first time this whole match, taking her time, really taking a long time in between points.
Still manages to smile at this juncture in the match. Backhand by Hingis.
You know what, Dan? I'm not going to believe these women anymore when they tell us how sick they are.
Well, I believe Monica when we heard her. She sounds terrible.
Terrible, I know.
Just long, but you made the point earlier. It's amazing what you can accomplish. Sometimes when you're feeling out of it, you don't expect a lot. You go out there free and easy. Monica looked down.
Concentrate more, and she's been helped by the weather. It's a nice 70, 75 degrees. There's a breeze out there, and it's not too tough to play.
Just long with the first serve.
Versus the Australian Open, it was 130 on the court. There's no way she could be out there playing like this if it was in Australia.
With the championship point. She's enjoyed those before today, and it's Seles who has previously fought off 3. Can she do it again? What an effort by Seles, but Martina Hingis, the new queen of tennis, hangs on in a thriller over Seles, the former #1. What a match. We'll see you in Paris for the French Open. For Chris Evert and Bud Collins, I'm Dan Hicks. We'll see you later.